Hey guys, it's Jake here with etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at, and I'm going to show you how to apply the Sylvania Headlight Restoration Kit. As vehicles get older, we know that the headlight lenses tend to start to get foggy and they start to oxidize a little bit, and that's why that plastic starts to turn yellow, and it makes it very, very difficult to see at night when you're driving. You could put these brand new LED Sylvania bulbs that we have in here, and it still doesn't help a whole lot because you have all of that fogginess blocking the clear view of your headlight. Over on our driver's side, we still have the traditional style halogen bulb. It was just kind of to show you a comparison between the two. But after we got them cleaned up with this headlight restoration kit, it makes a huge difference. Essentially what's going to come in the kit is, first off, you're going to get everything you need to do this project. The only thing that you will need in addition is some more paper towels. I used a bunch of shop towels here. You can just use normal paper towels at home. But you will need more of those. They give you enough to actually apply the stuff that comes in the kit, but not enough to clean it and wipe it in between the sanding process. Speaking of the sanding process, it's going to be a 3-stage grit sandpaper that you're going to essentially sand away the oxidation, because the oxidation is just going to be a roughness that happens on the plastic. So we'll sand that down all the way. The headlight will appear to be very, very hazy, but it'll be one uniform sanded surface. And then we'll take the clear coat that comes in the kit, wipe it on, and it'll look just like this. In addition to doing this application on vehicles, you can also do it on motorhomes. Pretty much any vehicle that has plastic headlights, you can do this process on, and it's going to make it much, much better when you're trying to go down the road at night. Now that we've gone over the reasons why you would want to do this, let's go ahead and show you how to do it. Now before we start the restoration process, we did want to show you everything that comes in the kit. You're going to get a couple of different types of towels. Now we've got shop towels around the shop here, and this is essentially what this is. This is going to be a rougher towel. Then you're going to get the clarifying compound, which is going to help with the cleanup process. You're going to get 400 grit sandpaper, 1000 and 2000 grit. You're going to start with the 400 and then move your way up to the softer sandpaper. We're going to have our UV block clear coat. And then we're going to have the surface activator. These are all the things that are going to come in the kit. We just wanted to show you before we start using them all, because then they're not going to look like they are now. So let's start on our one headlight. For the best results for this process, we're going to start by cleaning the headlight off with some alcohol first, just to get any of the bug stuff that's on here off of it so that the sandpaper doesn't have to take care of that. Next, we're going to grab the step 1, the surface applicator, and all we need to do is just take it, and this stuff is safe for your paint. We just need to spray it all over the lens. Once you get it all coated, we're going to let it sit for a little bit. They say about 30 seconds in the instructions, and this is going to help break down some of that surface. We'll let it sit, and then we need to wipe it off. Now we need to take some water on a rag, and we're just going to clean this off. Now for your sandpaper, that's the next 3 steps we're going to be doing. Basically what you need to do is you need to wet the sandpaper, keep the headlight wet as you're sanding. You want to do it for about 5 minutes all over the headlight. You need to rip each of your pieces of sandpaper, all 3 of them, in half, because we need to use half for the driver, half for the passenger. And while doing this, we're going to be keeping it wet while we're sanding it, and then once we get it to the haze that we want it, with this sandpaper, we're going to move to the next step, and basically you just need to make it nice and smooth. Right now we can feel kind of grit and stuff like that on here, and we're trying to get rid of that yellowing, so we need to take a little bit of that layering off with this sandpaper. Once you've dried your headlight off after doing the 400 grit sandpaper, you can see any spots that you missed. We've got everything hit here. What you want to do is you move on to the 1000 grit sandpaper and then the 2000 grit. Basically what we're doing is we're just getting smoother and smoother so that the surface is fully prepped for all the chemicals we're going to use later on. So we'll just keep moving along and do the same thing. I picked up a spray bottle because using the water bottle method, we were going through a lot more water than we needed to. So So we'll just get some clean water sprayed on here, spray it on our sandpaper, and do that same process. Now that we've gotten through all of our sandpaper grits, you can see it's got a nice white haze. We were able to get rid of a lot of that yellowing already, and it's still going to continue to get better. We've got this clarifying compound. This is our step 2. What we need to do is we'll tear off a corner of that. This is going to be used for both sides, so be sure to not use all of it. You want to put about a quarter size on the paper towel that comes in your kit. We're going to wet the headlight again. And then we're going to rub this in for 5 minutes. And this, from what it feels like this just kind of has like a sandy grit to it. So I'm sure it's just doing one more like final polishing so that our headlight is prepped as much as possible. Once we scrub for about 5 minutes, we're just going to re-wet it and wipe all this stuff off. Now we've got some of the surface activator left. We're going to, you want to be sure to save some from that, one of the first steps. We're going to spray this on, let it sit for another 30 seconds, and we'll come back and clean this off, because that'll be the final cleaning before we start putting our UV blocker on. So I'll go ahead and spray the other one, come back, rinse this off with some water in this rag, and then we'll do the same thing for the driver's side. Now the last step in our process, and this is by far going to be one of the most tedious and most important arguably. The sanding and all that is very important too, but this is the final coating that we're going to have to let sit for 4 to 6 hours after we're done. But we'll take this UV blocker, we're going to soak this towel, the little blue towel that comes in your kit, and you want to be darn sure to not use more than half of it on one headlight, because you have to use it on the other one. So what we're going to do is we'll take it, we're going to do strokes this way up towards the long way on the light, and then we're going to go down, and then we'll do final strokes up to the corner. That way we get even coverage. Now all we have to do is wait for this coating to cure. Again, you want to wait 4 to 6 hours, preferably in a climate controlled area. We're just going to leave this in the shop until we go home for the day, and that should be more than enough time for this to cure. You do want to wait about 24 hours before you wash your vehicle, just so that this has time to get nice and hard. Well guys, now that we've got everything cleaned up, that final coating's on, you can see what our headlights look like with our new Sylvania LED bulb and a clean lens in it. Over there, that's a clean lens and a standard halogen bulb, and you can see how vastly different they look. And this is going to be much, much better to drive down the road with at night.